Welcome everybody, Kelly here from KB Auto Tech and Adventure. Today we're at my shop. I got my 97 4Runner here and we're going to look at the aftermarket fog lights. So let's check it out. So I recently got the truck and it came with these two aftermarket lights up on the front. Now unfortunately when I flick it on it doesn't seem to work. So let's investigate and see what's going on. Maybe the bulbs are burnt out, relay's no good, bad wiring. Hard to say, I don't really know. So let's check it out, take you along for the adventure. Alright, so just like I suspected, let's see if we can get that to zoom in. No, it does not want to zoom. Anyways, the bulb is bad. This one's blown, so let's quickly check the other one as well. I wanted to switch the bulbs out anyways, so I ordered in some of these guys right here. Got these little LED ones. Hopefully these work. Oh, there's two in that. I didn't even realize. Looks like I might have a pair of extras. Okay, well, two in a pack. Got some spares. So anyways, let's get these installed and let's see what happens. Well, I kind of figured this out as soon as I open up the package. I'm a little bit worried about that. This turns out to be a bust. These are too deep. Yeah, definitely too long. It's funny because I didn't really notice that when I ordered them. I didn't think that's what these look like. Clearly made a mistake there. So yeah, well, for now let's figure out these lights anyways, and we'll put some regular bulbs in there and see if we can get these up and running. Well, if you're not 100% familiar with how these work, this outside is the grounded portion and this is the power wire here. We have the bulb here, see if you can see this. This is a rounded side and this is a squared side, and we'll just insert that into the light. Clip the spring in there and hook this power back up, and let's just place that in there, slip there, and put this piece back on just like that. Well, we replaced those two bulbs back in the car here. Headlights are on, flick the switch, it lights up, still no bulbs, so we will have to jump to some wiring to the relay fuses and see what's going on under the hood. Back under the hood here, got my power probe connected, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna dig into this wiring a little bit and see exactly what it is we can see. I'm gonna go ahead and remove my relay here and just kind of dig through the wiring. I can kind of see it going down there. This should be my main power fuse here. We can pull the cap open. Power on both sides. So let's go ahead and look at this relay. We'll pull it. If I had another one right away, you know, and I didn't want to check anything, I could just throw it in and just see if it's bad and see if it fires up after that. But for the sake of the video, we will look a little bit deeper. If you don't know, most relays, or I think all relays, they'll have a diagram on there and with numbers, and essentially that associates to the pins here. So we have 30, 85, 86, 87A, and 87. And the numbers are listed underneath. Here's an image I just pulled off of Google. I mean, there's so many. They're all basically the same, but you'll find there's a few variances. But all in all, 4-pin, 5-pin, it's pretty much all the same. What I can see here, just looking underneath, is we got some grounds that they've made here. We got two green ones, and that goes that way, I'm gonna assume. So those are to the headlights, two grounds. Now, just by looking at this without even just knowing the circuit, we've got 4 wires. We've got a small red one that seems to go into the cabin. That's going to be our switched power to that green switch. And one of these is going to be ground, power, yeah, switched, ground, power, and the power out to the fog lights. So I'm just going to take my power probe and you're going to basically test all of these. That's power, empty, ground, ground. So This is probably obviously our continuous power. We can test that just by pulling this fuse. And it no longer lights up. So that's our continuous power. And those two are ground. So one of these is actually ground, the other one will ground through the headlights, so don't be tricked by that. So we can look at the wire. I can see that there's a small black wire here, and off my ground connection there's a small black wire here. So I'm going to go ahead and assume that this is my ground right here. I could disconnect it to be sure, but I will take the chance. And this small red wire we know is switched. So this one here is the one that should go to the fog lights. I can confirm that. I can stick this here and quickly flash the power. And I can see that the fog lights light up. Let's have a look at that. And then we just have one last test. We need to check our switched power. So what I'm gonna go do, run in the vehicle, flick it on and see if we get this thing switched on, because here we have nothing. Now we have power of the switch, so we know that's all live. So essentially what all this test is telling me, we know we have switched power, we know we have constant power, we have chassis ground, and we have good wiring out. So essentially we know the bulbs are good. We got a bad relay. Let's go ahead and install a new relay. All right, got myself a new Bosch relay here. Let's open this guy up. Throw the box away. Plug it in. And before we go too crazy, let's go ahead and flick the lights on and make sure it works. And we have nothing. This is a great lesson. I'm glad I caught this on video. I'll explain further, so just keep watching. Turns out I had to go a little bit deeper. Got the new relay in. We know all the wires are good in theory, but actually this is where you run into trouble. So right on my power probe here, the switched power, it was reading power, but it wasn't carrying correctly. So let's go off into the car and we'll see what we find there. So I got tricked. What I ended up by finding here was at the switch. So we have two wires currently here, but this is a 3-pin illuminated rocker switch. So what they've done here is this wire here is the one that runs off to the switched power on the relay. And this one here is the power source. Now what they've done is connected this one here, to the illumination on the vehicle. So when it is on running lights, this does illuminate, but it's drawing or not being able to carry enough current, and it's completely wrong. This is wired incorrectly. So that is essentially why it ended up by not working. We had some burnt out bulbs, yes. We replaced the relay anyways, but this is our problem here. This rocker switch is not wired correctly. I'll show you how we're going to wire this rocker switch correctly. So this one here is terminal 3. This is off to the switch, so that one stays the same. This illuminated power is on terminal 2, and that's coming from the dash accessory lights, or the dash running lights essentially. This terminal 1 needs to be hooked up to ground. So now what's going to happen is anytime I turn on the accessory lights, it's going to illuminate the switch, just like your dash lights and your running lights. Question is, does the dimmer work with it? No, it does not. It does not seem to work with the dimmer, but maybe, no, I don't think it does. Anyways, it's illuminated now anyway, so it's switching with the dash lights. So now we can go ahead, flick the switch, and I can see the fog lights jump on like they're supposed to. So essentially they just had the terminal wired correctly and no ground. So got it figured out. Let's get it all back together. I need to make myself a proper ground right here, and away we go. I really hope you learned something today. If you liked the video, please like the video. consider subscribing to the channel. And thanks so much for watching today. Have a good one. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.